Alright everyone, what's going on? This is Very Melon Man, and I'm going to show you off the, highlights of my Synchro XYZ Festival journey. Spoiler, it's mostly going to be Sword Soul. But I tried to make sure I at least found interesting. I tried to make sure I at least got the most interesting of my recorded duels to show you guys today. So our first opponent has a pendulum deck, tries to search with Odd Eyes. I use Ash, then he calls by the grave. You know how it goes. Gets Purple Poison Magician. Tangy Spirit Shtana. Then Upstart Goblin. Then another Upstart Goblin, it feels like. Gives me a Moye. Discard Emergence for, well, not discard, but reveal it. Xiao Xiao. Moye's ability. There's a Femi. Shares for Long Wand. Yeah, spoiler, you're going to be seeing the typical combo with Sword Soul a lot. Emergence lets me search for Taya. Frickin' Taya, Moye, what are you gonna do? Time Pendulum Graph is pretty interesting. So they set Black Fang and Purple Poison Magician on the pendulum scales. Odd Eyes comes back. Then I also play, Time Pendulum Graph. Yeah, that's the counterplay to me. Destroys the pendulum and my Xiao Xiao. So I Oath Dragon. But then this nonsense happens, and it's actually the most interesting thing in the duel. Pendulum switch, you know. He tries to use Pendulum to... Oh, it's a banish effect, not a destruction effect, which is very interesting. But yeah, he actually shuts down my entire turn. That's pretty cool. Ninjatron 1159. Good stuff. Alright. Incredible Ecclesia to such summon Taya. Banish Taya to get the Sword Soul token that lets me go into Braxia. Boxia. Then I try to, bounce those cards. Then he pendulum switches. But the important part is that I got rid of the his only means of defense. Sorry, we're gonna have to speed these up from now on because that first duel replay took a little bit more time than we've liked. Foolish for Mathmat Sigma, then Addition, XYZ into Mac Albertian. I'm sorry. I've never played these cards, so pronunciations escape me. I was afraid he was going to go into a Mathmat that negated my summon, but he didn't really do anything. It's just more searching. So yeah, she shall. Blackout, call for the grave. Alright. Subtraction. Alright. Use Blackout to get rid of those two. And that's not game because I had to not get my battle phase. Well, that's not game because it wasn't my turn, so I didn't get a battle phase. This is the newest Sword Soul card I had to play with. Negate attack. Nice. Negate attack. Didn't see that. And he negates my new Sword Soul's effect, so I don't even get to use it. Oh, actually I do. Yeah, he surrendered because I could just remove his spells or monsters and burn them. That was also my only silver opponent, and now I think about it. It was weird. Generator Boss Quest. So it's Generator Boss versus Sword Soul, basically. And this is definitely interesting. Because I admit, there's one of these decks that I lost to with Sword Soul. It's actually just that interesting. They summon their boss monster, Boss of Storms. Then they summon their other big level 9. Really, a lot of these are kind of nuts. Generate Boss of Ice, Generate Boss of Storms, Generate Boss of Delusion. We go for triple tactics to draw more cards, since I use the monster effect during our main phase 1. We draw more cards with, you know, Pot Desires. We're able to go into Braxia. We can bounce that card. We can use Box's effect to get back Ecclesia. Then probably go off its effect for Soul Taya. Then go for a quick Shielding, which happens to there. Alright. And I think this was the best option because if he plays a spell or monster effect, it can just remove from play. Oh. And then there's that. Raigeki. Yeah, but my hopes and dreams. But we lucked out and drew another Taya. So we go for Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Which means that if he summons a monster effect, we can negate it. And he didn't play monster, so we were able to snag a win. Probably my favorite duel in this whole thing, to be honest with this deck. I can't pronounce your name, unfortunately, since it's in Japanese. Should be able to hear the Yakuza music I've got much better now. I finally realized you can just do that. I'm so weird about this stuff. Anyway, another Pendulum deck, Wisdom Eye, Performer Pals, you know the drill. We max C this time, so. His Odd Eye Synchro was the only thing he could play. Don't even know why he bothered playing in attack mode. It's a Pendulum summon, but okay. So the first boy comes out to get Blackout. We attack for a lot of damage. Then I get rid of his pendulums. And I make sure he can't recover that pendulum. So, interesting turn. But whatever he's doing, I'm not going to let go off again. Alright. The effect of Blackout that I don't really get to use all that often is banishing it in order to get a Sword Soul token. Berserker to Tenyi. Let's do it. Our opponent was a real champ because he had nothing to draw into to save him, but he decided to let me take the win. Planty, you were a buddy. Farron 1991 is up next. Aquarium stage. Aqua Actress. Sword Soul Sovereign. Oh yeah, this is one of the few times I've been able to actually use the draw effect of Sword Soul Sovereign. Of this guy. I can't read his name right now. Kixing Longyuan. Yeah, Longguan. Anyway, yeah. It's not quite a replacement for the, it's not quite a replacement for Tech Genius, Wonder Magician, but, you know, it's still a draw if you do a Worm Synchro summon. At this point, the guy only had Drill Barnacle, Worm Stage. I think I also lost to another version of this deck before as well. Aura Whale was perfect because, well, it's removal, and it was the perfect thing to get away from that continuous spell card's defensive effect. This is just mean, but it's very funny. It's more like the only problem is someone feel like being fancy with their field spell. Double Upstart, Ecclesia, Maxi, I Ash Blossom the Maxi. So that happens. Moye into a Sword Soul token. Grandmaster Xiao. The usual search nonsense we do. We get Long Wan. That happens. Long Wan. Nib. We have Crossout Designator to counter their Nib. And I don't even get to play it. I don't get to use Crossout Designator. That's why I had to show that off. This guy. I'm just kind of weird about stuff like that. It's a Sword Soul mirror match. Granted, it's not just any Sword Soul mirror match. It's actually my custom made Soul Sword deck versus the Sword Soul Loner deck that you get for this event. So we're using cards I've never actually looked at before, like Strife, which is definitely interesting, but I can see why it's not actually used in the main Sword Soul deck. It's just not very consistent with the better combo pieces to enable more explosive plays. Like, in case you haven't noticed, no one really plays true pure Sword Soul. It's always Sword Soul Tangy or Sword Soul Yang Zing. It has to be mixed with something because the worm type is just highly synergistic with itself. So playing pure Sword Soul isn't really advantageous. Strife and Assessment, his own Xiao. Oh, that's right, I did Max C. That's why I'm keep plussing. Negate your Xiao. Alright. As you can see here, someone who's never played against an actual Sword Soul deck tried to negate Ecclesia. No effect. I use Crossout on Blackout to stop it from going off, which also stops its Graveyard effect from going off since it was banished. I use Cypher War when it gets effect to pop off Queen Lang's effect. And this dude went out on his own terms like a boss. I salute you. Alright, these last two I know for a fact are not Sword Soul, so... I'm really bored. Not looking at this, but mostly just... It's been kind of hard for me to find time to, like, put new content off my YouTube channel, so I'm a little bit behind. Hopefully this recording will go up today, which should be October the 2nd. Search, draw Ash Blossom, search for, you know... Queensland, Changing, saying what says that, combo, yield the combo. And the only reason I'm doing this is because it looks like I actually have game, but then you had Wabaku of all things, and that was just the most incredible nope in this entire event. Oh, Numeron, of course. A Numeron deck would be an XYZ Festival, wouldn't it? But yeah, he apparently didn't realize that he wouldn't be able to actually pull off the Numeron combo because of the way... Well, yeah, he didn't expect Changing, so he just thought, oh, I'll just Numeron myself to victory. What I have to worry about? Oh, you don't have any attack points. That's what I have to worry about. Yeah, that Numeron guy did not know what he was getting into, basically. Swift Scarecrow. Nope, negate. Numeron players really are auto bots, aren't they? Because I guess he should have just gone for something else if he really knew what he was playing against. This is why you should learn other decks instead of just assuming your deck will always get you the victory. Okay, yeah, these last two are definitely Utopia XCs and not Synchro. You need an XC's deck in order to get those XC's rewards after all. Alright, so here we go. Utopia. Utopic Onomatopoeia isn't the problem. The problem is that I forgot that XC's change tactics was going to be negated for the rest of the turn because of the way infinite impermanence works, so I placed it in the wrong place. But ultimately doesn't really matter too much. I still get Utopia Ray. I set my own impermanence. He uses a Ghost Trick deck. Not exactly something that can actually threaten me, but and I also negate your monster's effect with Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. Onomatopoeia to search for a Utopic Onomatopoeia and Zubaba and the Go Golem. ZX Sage, XC Sage. Turns out that monster effect is permanent and not just once per turn if it's coming off of Ultimate Utopia Ray. Utopia. Now I can draw off XC change tactics. Utopia Prime. Also change tactics. Utopia Dragnar. More change tactics. Pop that thing out for Hope Harbinger. Go in the battle phase. And win. And the last opponent that I have recorded is a guy. They really need to let you record more than 10 matches. There's no good reason to keep it at just 20, at just 10. There's no good reason to keep it at just 10. And of course, it's Blue Eyes. So Chaos Dragon, all that stuff, Max Dragon. You'll begin to see why it lasted only 3 turns with this type of deck. Amato Pickup, Amato Pyra, and we get the 3 boys, Utopic, Onomatopoeia, Zubaba, and Go. Oh, Do, my bad. That's a Do. Yeah, Dodo, Go, Dodo Dwarf, Go, Love. That's a weird ass name. You know, be a double. I wish I could have beaten an opponent with double or nothing OTK, but unfortunately, I'm not that lucky. I could have just gone for double or nothing right there. At least, Alright. And I have a negate plus 2 graveyard mashes. And that was that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my highlights. And I'll see you all next time.